Let's build a DALI test set.
Listen to me, Frank. I saw my father become obsessed by his power. He died a horrible death.
Okay, let's see what we have strapped to the board and check our second output on the device. We have a DALI test set here, standard short address DALI. This is an open protocol. That means anybody can develop DALI devices. In fact, here are a number of them that would be the controls for an entire building. Inside this box, there are little DALI modules that are quite sophisticated and absolutely programmable. Here are 3 devices from 3 different manufacturers that are all compatible short address DALI, and there is the data bus. It is simply building wire. This can be used to control all sorts of things, including putting sensors on the line if you know how to do it properly. A digital control system, such as the one we have strapped on our board, has a bus power supply, in this case Leviton, approximately 16 volts. We have a digital lighting control. We'll take a look at that in a second. And we can put a number of digital ballasts on it. Now remember, originally this was a ballast driving protocol. We have a 0 to 10 volt converter on our particular rig, and we're going to be testing that today. We have an interconnection box, and these are the actual devices that are strapped to the board. We also have our gear control, or our device that issues the DALI command. In this case, it's got a dimming rocker, dimming slider, and 4 preset set points for out. This would replace an old-fashioned phase dimmer. So, we can control all of the DALI ballasts or drivers that are connected on a single bus by using something called a broadcast command, and that is what we're going to be using with our test set so that it always controls everything on the bus at the same time. In our case, we have an additional device strapped to the board, and that is a 0 to 10 volt converter that we should be able to put a 0 to 10 volt ballast or driver on, and we're going to check it and make sure it's functional. And there it is. That's on our board. So remember that even if we shut off our DALI bus supply, our 0 to 10 volt leads that we're going to be connecting to the test set are still live because the control voltage is produced in a ballast or driver in a 0 to 10 volt system. It's a constant current source in there, which means it's safe to short these, and you'll be able to measure the current of your combined luminaires with an ammeter without any problem. When they're open, all of your lighting should be at its maximum output, and when shorted, at its minimum output. But remember, don't short these lines when they're connected to that 0 to 10 volt converter, because you don't know that it's not going to damage the converter. These lines have to be completely open from all control devices when you make this test.
Hi, me again. We have our test set sitting here, and it's turned off, and I have my 0 to 10 volt lines for a small CFL ballast attached to this 0 to 10 volt converter. Now, as previously mentioned, if I put my meter on the 0 to 10 volt control lines, I should read about 10 volts there. Okay, there we go. Got 10 volts there with the power off on this because the control voltage is coming from the ballast. So I'm going to turn on my DALI test rig, and I'm going to work the button here and see what effect it has on the voltage. I'm at 10.09, 7.73, 5.14, and you can see it's dimmed, and 2.62, and it has dimmed further, and that's back to all the way up. the same control voltage will produce different illumination outputs on different models of ballasts and drivers if they're 0 to 10 volt. What we really want to know about this test set is what is the DALI system saying? What are the actual digital commands that come out on these other terminals say? So next time we're going to hook it up to a DALI monitor and we're going to see what this is saying to the ballasts. If the 0 to 10 volt works,